once again. I'm here once again. It's still me, your brother, Comrade Presty. Yeah, that's my name. Well, there's something I really want to talk about today. Something a bit fishy, but I'm sure it will make sense at the end of the day. You know, like we all know, the World Cup has gone down to the last four standing. I mean, the semi-final. So we have Spain, we have England, we have France, and we have Argentina. So these four teams, they have their own uniqueness attached to them in a different way. You know, like we all know when France beat Paraguay, the Paraguayans, to be precise, their ex-goalkeeper, Jose Lucilovet, their ex-goalkeeper, accused or taunted the French team. He mocked the French team of being an African team, not a French team. So, because they have a lot of black players right there in the French team. And I think yesterday or so, one of the Spanish ex administrator, I don't know if he's the FA president, the SFA president or something, accused the French team that they are playing today in the semi-final of not having a natural French identity because they have a lot of black players in the French team. Said the French team does not have a French identity. I mean, a natural French player. I mean, per se, that almost all the players right there, like he's trying to say, are black African players. You understand? And many have accused the English team as well in the past, even recently, of having a mixed of colored players. I mean, African players of descent that are naturalized into the English team. Players like Bukayo Saka, Berechi Eze, Noni Madueke, and many in the past as well, who have African parents. I mean, but they are born in England, so you know. So a mixture of these black African players in the team, in these teams that I just mentioned, the English team and the Spanish team as well. As you can see, they have some few players right there that have African descent as well. Notably, Yami Lama. I mean, we all know that he's black and he has African descent as well. And some other players as well. The Spanish team, they have a mixture of black players as well over time. How about the Argentines? What do we have to say about the Argentinian team? No single black player right there. And over the years, the Argentines, they have never produced a single black player in their national team. Not just in their football national team, even in other sports. The Argentines, they don't have one single black sport personality or player whatsoever to present in anything. A South American team, a South American country. When you go to Brazil, you see a lot of black people in Brazil. You see a lot of black players in the national team. When you go to Colombia, you see a lot of black Colombians. You see a lot of black Colombian players. Ecuador, the same thing. Venezuela, all these countries in South America, they have a lot of black people in their country and in their teams as well. But the Argentines, what happened to the black people in Argentina? Trace back in history. What did they do to the black people that was in the country? Because definitely after the slave trade was abolished over a century ago, slaves were deposited in a lot of colonies around there, over there in South America, North America, in almost all the countries over there in America, both in the north, in the central, in the south. Black slaves were deposited were spread around all these countries. And many of these countries, they integrated them into their system and gave them a home. That today, those black people in those countries are people that was accepted into the country after the abolition of slave trade, because they were no more slaves. So they were now free people. So they were now free to mingle and be integrated into the system of the country. They were deposited. But the ones that were deposited in Argentina, what did they do to them? How come today Argentina as a country has less than 1% of black people, less than 1%, minus 1% of black people? Because you hardly see any black person that comes out from Argentina and say, I'm an Argentine. It's not possible. Even their national team, you cannot see any black player there. Go back to history. You will see what they did to the black people that was in the country. They did everything possible, humanly possible, and everything inhumanly possible to make sure they erase black from their country. They will set up a policy that was called whitening. Imagine a country setting up a policy called whitening. When you talk about whitening, a policy set by a country, what are they trying to do? They are trying to erase anything black from their country. And there are black people there. So what did they do to those black people? That at the end of the day, there is no black anywhere around. Without a trace, those black people, they were made to disappear. They got rid of them without a trace. First, they said, okay, they sent some of them to war and placed them at the war front. Definitely, you put people at the war front, the black people at the war front. When there's a bullet, there's a bomb, there's an arrow, there's anything that is coming, it gets to them first. So the ones at war, there's guarantee that they are not going to return back from war. Plan number one, to eradicate black from their country. They decided epidemic as well. Epidemic hit Argentina as a country. It's the only blacks that are in the country. If there's an epidemic, how come it is only the black people that was affected? Epidemic took part of the remaining ones that didn't die at war, at the war front. Epidemic took part of the remaining ones. So the ones that epidemic couldn't kill, what did they do to them? The one that epidemic didn't kill, what happened to them? No trace. No trace. They gave one story or the other. At the end of the day, all the black people in Argentina, were reading off. They got rid of every one of them by hook and by crook. In every way possible that they can. That today, Argentina, they are presenting themselves as a white nation, a purely white nation, after they have done everything they could to get rid of all the black people in the country. Go and check the history. The time will not permit me to go deep into all of these things. So you can see all these countries, all these racist countries, the same thing that happened to Argentina, that was done in Argentina, was done also in Paraguay, that is accusing France of having an African team. The blacks that were in the country, they got rid of them. That today Paraguay have less than 1% of black people. I'm sure even the black people in the country, they wouldn't even accept them as Paraguayans, because they don't want to have anything to do with black. Same with Argentina. You see, all these teams, after knowing their history, I don't have anything to support them for. I don't have any reason why I should support them as a black person, because these countries are countries that have proved beyond reasonable doubt from time immemorial, back in history, that these people are a purely racist nation. Though nobody is saying anything about it, but it's obvious, it's there for all to see. Where other South American teams parade black players because they make sure the black people were integrated into their system, into their country fully. But some of them, they rejected black people, and they did everything possible to make sure every trace of black people in their country is erased, whether by hook or by crook. They did everything humanly and inhumanly possible to make sure every black people that was in the country was erased. Argentina, how many black players have you seen Argentina parade over the years since you've been watching football or sport? They don't have any to parade because they've gotten rid of all the black people. And they will still open their mouth to be accusing the ones that accepted black people into their country and gave them an equal right to be an equal right, and gave them a sense of belonging. They didn't see them as slaves anymore. They accepted them as equals into the country. They gave them equal opportunity to participate in sport and everything. You that is a racist country, that that did everything possible to erase all the black that was in your country. You are opening your mouth to accuse a country that is black to color, a country that is blind to color. I mean, that doesn't see skin as a barrier, that doesn't see skin as anything bad. Whether you are black, you are white, you are red, you are yellow, they accept you the way you are. You that did everything possible to make sure black people were never integrated fully into your system, and you make sure you do it, everything was done. Let's leave matter for Matthias. Too many stuff going on in the world. Well, I just hope one of those three African teams, England, Spain, or France, win the World Cup. Even if they are European teams, they call them African teams because they have black players there. Oh, Africa. But it's still me, your brother. Please subscribe, follow. We have a lot of things to gist about. We talk about everything, just anything, everything. So I'll see you. Oh, bad belly people. I will see you very soon. God bless you.